his money is going to be bigger and better than DurtyKeyLime's, but now kind of running into death now that there is 3 siege tank out, putting out a couple of just random force fields, and these siege tanks are going to clean up, especially with the Marine and Marauders here with Stimpack and a lot of reinforcements coming in. Now, on that first initial attack, if he would have used those sentries correctly, he would have still had a lot more units to begin with.
Yep.
You know, a couple of slips here, still not using these sentries the way I would like him to use. He put out a couple of pointless force fields when he could have actually force fielded that up top, and maybe have ran underneath here to get away from the range of these tanks, even though they do have range there, so it probably would have been pointless. But even still, not the greatest, especially when you have an observer there and you can really see exactly the amount of units DurtyKeyLime has. All I can say right now, if I was in Zdra's position, would be to start saturating this, you know, building up that unit composition, start upgrading because he has no upgrades. The Terran player still no upgrades, but I would like to see some sort of harassment over here.
Holy mule!
That mule, yeah, he's packing in some cash right now.
Yeah, he is rolling in the money right now. Absolutely killing the money right now, and doing a reasonable job of using it as well. I'm actually quite impressed with that. Usually, a lot of the times, Terrans will stack up Mule and then just get too much money rolling in at once. But you know what I would like to see out of Zdra right now is we're seeing a lot of barracks units. A Colossus or two might not be too bad, but he should definitely still, if he's not going to do that, be pumping out more Immortal than he is, because we are seeing a fairly heavy Marauder build, and with that tank, those Colossus, not Colossus, sorry, those Immortal will make a big difference, and this is quite a huge push.
Yeah.
I think Zdra should really be turning around and getting back to base, which I think he's probably going to do right now. He is way too outnumbered by those Marauder, and he needs to definitely get a couple more Immortal. And are we seeing a supply block for DurtyKeyLime?
Could have took out all those probes there real quick. DurtyKeyLime is...
Yes,
he
he
is
is supply blocked. Okay, so I wasn't just, I thought I was seeing things there for a second. But this is a very big attack here for DurtyKeyLime. He can definitely do a little bit of Terran creeping right now and just start setting up shop.
He can siege right here, right now.
Right there. That's going to be a lot of damage. But don't wait too long. That was not a great force field.
Not good for him, because now he's blocking off
his zealots.
And he can't get at those tanks. He can get at one there, now running into death here, and he is going to do, it looks like he actually may hold this off here. Still wasn't a huge fan of those force fields. This Immortal going down, and just a couple of units left. Still get one siege tank, and this was extremely close, and I think Zdra actually took...
Just barely.
Zdra took quite a bit of a beating there, and now DurtyKeyLime building up another army, now has the money going as well. I don't know. And Zdra also has a funny way of building gateways and forgetting to warp them.
Yeah. You know what I'd like to see at a DurtyKeyLime right now is maybe start putting out a couple ghosts. We're seeing a lot of gateway units coming out here for Zdra, and so at this point, as soon as that Terran starts seeing, hey, they're just going to rely on 5 or 6 gate the entire time, especially seeing those Immortals out on the field, they are so huge with their shields. You know, get a couple of ghosts out. You only need, you know, maybe 2 or 3, and start dropping some EMP and really messing stuff up. Because if you have a Marine Marauder ball and you drop an EMP into a whole bunch of gateway units and a couple of Immortal, you're going to do a whole lot of damage. You throw on Stimpack, and you're basically going to steamroll that entire group. But you know what? I can't complain too much, because DurtyKeyLime is doing at least an equal trade every time they run into each other on the battlefield. And aside from Zdra not doing a whole lot of... Oh, that could end poorly.
Here we go, and these probes are going to die really quickly. And
he's not paying too much attention, though. Now he is. He's finally catching up, and here comes some reinforcements from Zdra, but Zdra not going to be able to catch up a bunch of Stimpack units, and all of these probes might actually go down, and this could be a huge economic swing in the game right now should he chase them all down, which it looks like he's going to.
Yeah, he needs to stop using the Stin so much, though, because all of his units are going to be really low on health by the time they actually get into the battlefield with all of these units. And, yeah, so it looks like we're fairly even. Actually, DurtyKeyLime now getting quite a bit more minerals per minute, opposed to Zdra, and it looks like he just evened the score there by killing off all of those probes. And man, it's when DurtyKeyLime went down here and attacked, he had seen that Zdra did not have an expansion, so now he knows that there has got to be money coming from somewhere, and now he finally figures out that the expansion is over here, and he's going to take out as many probes as he can.
Yeah, as we can see, we have absolutely no production going down right now for Zdra, and all of these probes are going to be going down. I want to take a quick look at the harvester count right now. as we saw going in here, before all these probes went down, and I don't know if that's updating or not right now, having seen 27 to find out real quick. But anyway, that is hurting hard right now.
13 probes.
There was, I believe Zdra had a quite a large advantage in workers there for a period of time, but after chasing down that first batch of probes and just taking out every one of those other ones at that expansion, the game is now completely switched and flipped on its head. And look at this army. This is going to be absolutely devastating. And even if Zdra survives this, he's not going to have the income really coming in. We're looking at 200 minerals a minute right now and only 128 gas. He's going to be in a world of trouble.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing with these dropships right now. I don't know if he's going to go drop these on the ledge here and try to do some damage with some siege tanks, really taking advantage of the fact that Terran has the advantage on this map.
Yeah.
And, you know, he picked this map for a reason, and I think he did a good
attack
job.
Going on right here.
And it looks like Zdra actually caught a break there. Half of his units are in medevacs flying over somewhere, and those siege tanks weren't sieged fully, but it's still all of his units are still taking a beating. And Zdra
drops the GG just before that drop hits the ground. And you know what? That was a good game. You know, there was a bit of slip. These guys do have a bit of a macro slip problem. At least they did at the time of this game. We don't know what they're playing like now, of course, but they do have a bit of a macro slip problem. I would say you know, DurtyKeyLime has the worst of the macro slip problems. And we did see a really good, you know what I have to say about Zdra, he does do a good job of continuing to probe up at all times, and it was just that last couple of pushes and kind of luck, good timing to be crossing the map from DurtyKeyLime to run into that plethora of probes, just a whole bunch of them mass, you know, migrating across the map, and I think that was actually possibly the catalyst for the end of the game.
What I like about these guys is this is perfectly matched.
Yeah, it's very close.
These guys are
very
very similar on skill levels. I actually think Zdra could have won that with some right force fields.
He had it in the beginning of the game, but he just didn't keep bringing.
He has a hard time at continuously bringing in units with the warp gate. Like when he's attacking, all of his attention is on the battlefield.
Yeah.
And I like to go 80-20, where you're still taking 20% to make sure that your probes are still being built, making sure that you're warping in units, making sure that you're not supply blocked, and at the same time using your micro, your units the best that you can. I mean, if those force fields would have went up,
could have been a lot more damage.
I'm not going to say he would have won the game, but he definitely could have taken the full momentum of the game.
Could have got map control off of it.
Exactly. And once DurtyKeyLime got out of that little runt that he was in and put up these bunkers, he had the momentum. He smelt victory, and he went and took it. So, I mean, this was a good game. DurtyKeyLime now up in the series 2-1. If DurtyKeyLime wins the next game, he is going to be tournament number 2 champion. And if Zdra wins the next game, we are actually going to go into a game 5. But anything else you want to add before we close out?
Yeah, I'm just going to add really, really quick, because I didn't get a chance to get in there when you were talking about it at the time. But when you were talking about Zdra not being able to get back and warping in those units during battle, something I would like to point out for you Protoss players out there, and I myself am trying desperately to teach myself to do this as well, is that when you come up and you put that proxy pylon down specifically for the purpose of bringing in you know, any reinforcements, and I know a lot of the times you know, the proxy pylon is just out of sight of the battle and you really want to keep on top of the battle, actually hotkey that pylon specifically, so that when you're up in battle, double click, you know, say, you know, put it on 4 or 5, double click 4 or 5, press W, warp in some units, and then double click on 1 or 2 and go right back to your units, and you'll find that you're there and back in like 5 seconds, and you haven't missed out on anything too important. It is highly, highly vital that if you're going to try and do a 4 gate push, because they are very, they can be an all-in attack if you're doing like a 7-minute 4 gate push, you really have to get good at something like that, and that is probably my best advice right now, is to hotkey that pylon that you use for that purpose.
Thank you, Adam.
Hey, no problem. You know, I thought I'd drop some knowledge.
All right, well, yeah, I guess we're going to leave it at that. We still have some more games to cast.
We've got a couple more to go tonight, at least.
Yeah. So this is Maximus Black.
And Nova War.
Peace out.
Peace.
It's my birthday.